Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to the level 4 of the Turks crown fight, and then I'll be showing just a quick OTK on the day 1 of Vision World, but you know, the interesting stuff will be coming on Saturday when the final bosses unlock. So for the crown fight, you're locked to Final Fantasy VII units only. We're going to level 4, it's no continues, no KOs, 5 turns or less. It's fighting against Reno and Rude. They are two different targets, so if you want to turn 1 OTK, you need AoE damage. We're going to do it on turn 2 just to make it nice and easy. And we're going to go with this team. We're going to have Sephiroth just carry the fight with some support from Biggs and Jesse, and then, Wedge too. And then Aerith is going to be our buffer. Now, if you have like Tifa or, Cloud, etc., they all work fine too, but this is all we really need. So we're going to start and kill Rude first. Jesse is going to do Darkbreaker. If you don't have Darkbreaker, you could just use her regular breaks. It may be enough. I honestly don't know. I didn't try it, but we're going to use Darkbreaker. Biggs and Wedge are going to just fill a little bit of LB and LB fill rate. We're going to shift Sephiroth, and we're going to use his shifted LB. We're going to start in the base for Auto Amplify. If you have Titus's STMR, definitely equip it in Sephiroth's base form, but we're not using that because we don't really need it. It's just overkill, but, it helps. And we're going to go ahead and click Aerith first, and then click Sephiroth, and Sephiroth will cap Aerith's chain, and there we go. Aerith did the buffs and all beforehand. Now Reno's going to single target physical attack our Provoker, which is Jesse. We're evading, then some breaks, AoE, etc. We're not really worried about that. Now, because we did LB fill rate, Biggs and Wedge can entrust. We'll go ahead and entrust to Sephiroth. Jesse can do full breakdown, refurbished, and then Midgar special. And Midgar special will fill more LB in case your Biggs and Wedge couldn't entrust. We'll use Sephiroth to burst again, and then we'll just quad flame thing, and that should be the end of Reno. Yep, Sephiroth did 50% more damage because he is a stacking unit. And there it is. There's with a Sephiroth. Now, Sephiroth is obviously, a premium unit. He is really old. It probably works fine with Tifa. You can even make it work with Cloud. The old Cloud, I mean. You've got 5 turns, so I did it in 2. It's not that challenging. But let me know in the comments if you're having problems, and if so, I can always go back and try to do a more budget run. But I think this one's going to not be too much of a problem, but as usual, let me know, and if you're struggling, I'll go back and try to do better, do a little bit cheaper, etc., but I don't think it's going to be necessary. So the gear we used was Biggs and Wedge. It's just using LB fill rate, auto LB stuff, just so we can entrust on turn 2. Gets his LB nice and easy, and he's literally here just because he can entrust. Another Jesse would be fine, or you could go to turn 3, it's fine, etc. Jesse is passive provoking with immunity. I don't know if that even matters, but the ribbon thing, but I gave her immunity just in case. Darkbreaker to imperil Dark and do an 85 break. Now, if you don't have this, you can use her own breaks, which are full breakdown is an 83 break, and refurbished is a 100 Dark Imperil. It would probably still kill Reno and Rude on turn 1, especially if you're using Titus STMR. Aerith completely naked. She's just a tag chainer. Her shifted LB is a tag chain, and we click her first because it gives a 400 stat buff and a 250 LB buff. Sephiroth in the base form is using Obsidian Bracer, Rakshasa Blade to auto amplify Dark. I gave him Decay Amulet because the boss's break. I didn't realize it was only defense break. That's kind of irrelevant. And there we go. Shift form. Now he is geared pretty well. The Dark Vision's katana, some Clash of Wills gear, etc. But we're not using, what's it called, Titus STMR. But again, Titus STMR would be a big deal. And also using his own card, which is kind of whatever. This is probably way overboard. So, Masamune and his own chess piece and all are probably totally fine. But there it is. Let's go ahead and pop over to Vision World, and we will, again, this is just the first 4 bosses. It's the day 1 stuff. It's very, very simple. The first 3 are, the damage cap on day 1, by the way, is all 1 billion. It's like 1.04 or something, so it's like slightly over a billion, but it's very low. Come on, game, connect for me, please. So we're actually not even going to show the first 3 because they're just incredibly easy. So this little soldier guy, the dog guy in the house, I just turned 1 OTK'd them. Didn't even go on. I went off element, didn't care, didn't use killers. It didn't matter. I massively overcapped. This one's a little trickier because he is a technically a magical only fight. We're gonna use non-magic because who cares? But if you're having problems, go with mages. Surge is amazing. You can imbue Olive with light element. You can use Golbez. He'll easily turn 1 OTK it. But I'm just using my lazy turn 1 OTK stuff. And this is the party we're gonna use. And we're gonna, even though it's wrong damage type, we're gonna turn 1 perfect this. It's gonna be no problem at all. So the hardest thing with turn 1 OTKs, I've said it before, is the weakness score. You've got to hit the boss 6 times with his weak elements. So that's why we're using Frievia. So Aerith is going to base form LB. It's going to imbue the party, amplify, etc. with light. We're going to use Frievia to imperil with pressure. And then we're going to just double hit the boss for 2 weakness hits. Now the rest of the party is going to hit 1 time each with their skill, and that's going to be the 6 weakness hits. Lara Croft is going to break, and the reason we're using her is because she can break and add chain count score. The rest are going to use Extreme Nova, which is only a 90 chain. So Laura is going to be breaker plus 10 extra hits with her BS skill. That way the chain goes over 100. We're going to answer the phone. Be right back. We're actually not going to answer that call. Anyway, so we're doing Extreme Nova on 2 different people. And then Knights of Grandshout are going to just Extreme Nova with the Hayo card. We're going to click Laura first for the big break. And then we're going to go ahead and chain this up. So there we go. And that should be a turn 1 OTK. We only need 1 billion damage. So we did more than 1 billion, I hope. Okay, I got cocky. That didn't work. We are going to change the party. We are gonna actually use Golbez. Okay, I will be right back as I stop looking foolish and actually take this fight a little bit more seriously. I thought that would work. It didn't. We got to use mages. Be back in a moment. Alright guys, we're going to try that again. A small adjustment. We're actually using a mage this time. I thought it would be a little bit easier to damage cap on turn 1. So here we go. So we are going to use Aerith to imbue Amplify Holy. Frievia will imperil Holy. We'll do Sword Imperil and then just a hit on the boss. Louise will do a 90 break. We'll do Diverse Arsenal for some killers, and then we'll just hit the boss twice. We're going to use Golbez to Meteor on turn 1. We're going to use Elena to AR, and then double SR to get that chain count score, and Zahn will do the same thing. You can, of course, get the chain count score any way you want. You can dual wield Extreme Nova with the materia. You can do it this way. Doesn't matter, just get the chain count score. Golbez is going to Meteor. We're going to now chain it up. And that is a proper perfect score. That is a proper perfect score. So we did more than 1 billion that time. Now that we respected the boss's defense value, 7.8 billion. So don't get cocky and try to use physical units. I'm sure you can, and I'm sure if I spent time to really plan out a turn 1 clear instead of just half-assing it, it would have been fine. But just go mages like you're supposed to, and there it is. So Golbez did all the damage we needed him to do. And I'll go back and do the turn 1 OTK stuff for the... So we're going to go back and do the turn 1 OTK stuff anyway. Then I'm going to show you that it does work. Oh god, that was so embarrassing. So the whole party is completely naked. Aerith, Frievia, Louise. Zahn is just using his TMR so he can triple cast, naked as well. And then Golbez is geared well. We did almost 8 billion. We needed 1. So don't sweat if you can't eat. When I didn't damage cap, I freaked out a little bit, and I went absolute hardcore, best possible Golbez. And there we go. He's maxed on Demon Killer, but you don't need... So I didn't even do the other bosses yet. We're going to pop over real quick and do them. because I figured these would also be like brainless OTKs that my OTK team would work. So we're going to, come on game, there we go. We're going to pop over to my usual OTK team, which is actually Ice Element because of the field. And we're going to see if my no-killer random OTK team does even work on level 2s. If it does, we're not gonna bother the other two in this video. But this is how my usual OTK team in Dark Prison goes. Maybe it needs a bigger update because that was embarrassing. So Sylvie does her shifted LB. Frievia does Ice Field and then just some hits on the boss to get weakness damage. Chizuru does LB, 2B does LB, Knight's Grandchild does Extreme Nova, and Lara Croft does Volatile. And this is my usual turn 1 OTK. We need 1 billion damage. It's looking good. Yes. Okay, so the other bosses are a total joke. Like I said, they didn't need a video. It's just the 4th guy was... Well, the 4th guy was easy, too. We just, respect the damage type. The fight said bring mages. I said no, and I got put in my place. But bringing Golbez, it handled it no problem at all. And yeah, this is how my usual whatever stuff goes. 2B is really good for that. And the I'm not even going to bother showing the gear. It's just DPS gear, no killers. So just generic stuff. Anyway, there is the day 1 stuff. So on Saturday, we'll have Rufus, the Arsenal, and then the final boss of Whisper Bahamut. It should be capable. I'll be going in, etc. And again, on the earlier bosses, if you're having problems with these, let me know in the comments, and I'll go back. We've got like 2 days with nothing to do, so I'll make a video tonight or tomorrow. But again, I think as long as you use Golbez, this guy will be fine. And if you don't have Golbez, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. So there's the day 1 stuff. Not much else going on. So either see you for a rerun of these tonight or tomorrow, or see you on Saturday for the real bosses. See you then.